Welcome, everyone. Hello, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Water Riff Radio. We are your hosts. This is
Jill Marie.
and I am Amanda White. And we are so flippin' excited to be here with you today to tackle an issue that literally affects every single one of us every single day. And you would actually be surprised how many times a day we actually come in contact with this stuff. We are talking the plastic problem. But this isn't just about what litter we see on the ocean or the beaches. It's more about what's leaching into our waters, into our bodies, into our lives every second of the day. Our goal is not to create fear, but it is to empower you with knowledge, with curiosity, and with practical steps that you can take to guide your way through this amazing world we live in. So when we know better, we do better. So we're going to dive in.
Woohoo! So let's get started here. What is plastic and why is it everywhere? I do have notes because, of course, I'm not that good to remember all of this good stuff, but
and
go ahead.
And it's okay to have notes. Like we are here trying to educate and help, things that we didn't know. So of course we're going to have notes. So we can do every topic that we talk about justice.
Absolutely. And we know what we know. However, when you deep dive, there's so much below the surface that you don't realize, that we didn't realize. So let's get started with plastics. These are synthetic materials made from fossil fuels like oil and natural gas. They're designed to be durable. They're designed to last. They're designed to be convenient for us and cheap to produce, obviously. Since the 50s, the global plastic production has skyrocketed from 2 million tons a year to just guess, 4 million tons annually. That is quite a pollution problem. Convenience always comes at a cost. Everything is thrown away. We consume, throw it away, consume, throw it away. Instead of, I don't know if when you were younger, I remember my grandmother, even my mother, washing out plastic bags so that she could reuse them. And back then, I say back then, maybe 10 years ago, we weren't aware of the chemicals that made up plastic. We just weren't aware of it. We were just looking for the convenience of plastics, of Tupperware, of different types of plastic, food storage, water bottles, soda bottles, milk jugs. Plastic is everywhere for convenience. But yes, since it's incredibly convenient, it is everywhere. And I forgot to mention this, it's in our clothing. Polyester is actually plastic. So when you're looking at our stretchy fabrics, our yoga pants, our workout clothes, yes, they're made from.
Yes. And this is something, thank you for hitting on that, because this is something I wanted to hit on. Sorry, I was sharing and editing some things. But you guys, the things I've been ordering and then I get and I try on and it's a material I just, that's the best way I can explain it. And then you look and it's polyester and acetane and hey, guess what that is? Plastic. So not only are we eating plastic, we are wearing plastic, we are walking on plastic. Like that blows you away. And once you understand what plastic does, you will understand that this is not a good thing.
Well,
right, I'm so sorry.
No, it's easy to overlook because we look at our choices and sometimes we feel like, well, we don't have a choice. This is all we have. Or we look at the cost of our choices and this is what we can afford, and completely understand that. However, we do have options that don't have the cost attached if we just look a little bit deeper. But looking at your carpeting, food packaging, water bottles, clothing, electronics, our cars, the interiors of our vehicles are made of plastics. They just are. And even our furniture. It's hard to actually go an hour of your day, 30 minutes of your day, and not touch or come in contact with a piece of plastic. I mean, you can look at right here, plastic on my keyboard of my computer is plastic. And these are different types of plastics other than your water bottles or your Ziploc snap food storage containers. Yeah, these do come at a cost.
And they're all designed for just single use. You know, you've got straws, wrappers, containers, just Ziploc bags. Like, just think for a moment right here. Just pause, sit up nice and straight, really close your eyes and like think about all the things that you even use that are in plastic right now. And then go one step deeper, and it's how many times have you actually touched plastic today? Your toothbrush, your phone case, your food packaging, clothes, carpet, makeup containers, face wash, mouthwash. Like, I could probably go on and on if I just sit here long enough. I mean, it's everywhere.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So, yes, yes, yes. So, wrapping up with what is plastic and why is it everywhere? Key facts to know here are over 8.3 billion tons of plastic have been produced since the 50s. Billion, billion, billion. 9% of all plastic ever made has been recycled. Only 9% of all plastic has ever been recycled. And let me just say this, interject. I was a recycling mama years ago. And I even drove 45 minutes because where I lived, we didn't have recycling. And I drove all my recyclables to drive into town and recycle. And guess what? I had found out later that most of what I drove down there and let go of ended up in the landfill anyway. I was so disappointed.
And I used to do the same thing. Like, in our heads, we're doing the right thing. But literally, did you hear what Jill just read? Only 9% of everyone's recycle actually gets recycled. 9%. Like, that's a lot that ends up everywhere else. Front yards, streets, landfills, ocean.
Oh, don't get me started. Which leads us into section 2. Where does the plastic go? Where does it go once we throw it away in our trash?
Let's think about this for a second. Like, let us know in the comments, like, where do you think it goes?
Yeah. Once we put it in our trash bin, yeah, we don't think about it. That's the end of the attachment we have with it. And if 9% is actually recycled, 12% is incinerated. We've got the gases in the air,
which create more toxins, air toxins. Sorry.
Then there's 80% that ends up in our landfills, dumps, and the natural environment, including our oceans. And what is it by the year 2029, was it? No.
Is it more something than
2050.
Something? 2050. Yep.
Sorry, 2050. I know it's only 2025, but by 2050, there will be more plastic than fish in our oceans. If you can believe that.
That's estimated more plastic than fish. Like, that's mind-boggling to me. Which tells you what? Like, we need to scoop up Mother Earth and take a little better care of her. Because plastic does not biodegrade like most things, like scraps for food or paper. but they break down into smaller and smaller plastic pieces, which is microplastics.
Mm.
So they're found in everything and everywhere:
Mm-hmm.
soils, rivers, oceans, airs,
Airs.
rainwater,
Airs. I like it in the airs.
airs,
I
airs.
love the airs. But realize like Amanda had said, this is in our oceans. It's going into our fish, what we eat. It's on the bottom of the ocean. It's floating around. When this plastic gets heated, if it's sitting out in the ocean in the sun, it gets heated and then it leaches microplastics into the ocean as well. So the fish are eating it, you know.
Everything in there is absorbing it. Like,
Yes, yes, yes. So when we eat fish,
guess what we're eating?
now we're eating, ingesting the microplastics as well. And sometimes it's hard to actually, oh, yeah, right, Jill. It's hard to see that. How do I say that? Unless you visualize it, it's kind of uncomprehendable. It's hard to believe. Like, really? But what was it you said? How much is ingested weekly?
So it has said from the research that we have done that average person a week ingest about 5 grams of plastic, which is the size of a credit card every week. And this doesn't just come out of us.
It compounds.
Yes. And from what we know in previous classes, plastic is definitely related to Alzheimer's, dementia, and so many others. But those are the two main ones that's
Mm-hmm.
related to plastic. And we don't think it's harming us in any way, shape, or form when that's not actually true.
Mm. Yes, yes, yes. Which leads us into how
How does
does it get
plastic
in our
get into
body?
us?
Osmosis.
So, how are we exposed to plastic? Do you know? Drop them in the comment section if you do. But there are really probably 3 routes. I mean, we could argue there's more, but realistically, there's probably 3. Can you guess them? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun,
All
dun.
right. Number 1 is your drinking water. Did you know that? Number 2, food. And number 3, the air.
The air. The air.
So obviously, when you're drinking water, again, everything is recycled. Nothing is new here. We've stated that, I think, in almost every class. So everything that we are drinking these days is recycled water.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let that sink in for a second. Oh God, the first time I heard that, I think I wanted to go throw up in the bathroom.
Mm.
But it is found. It is found in water, in the ocean, in everything, in our food source. It's not just seafood, but seafood is the big source around that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they also ingest what's in the water, which are microplastics. And not just seafoods, though, it's actually in our food as well,
Mm-hmm.
because that is okay. It's in salt, honey, sugar, fruits, vegetables, processed foods for sure. And we have to think everything we plant, what's in the soil?
Mm-hmm.
What's leaking into the ground, which is the water? How are we packaging things?
Mm-hmm. Which
And
is
then your
then
air.
leading into wells. Like if you think you're safe having a well, like the well is usually your groundwater feeds your well, and they're finding so many microplastics in wells now.
I was going to go a totally different direction, but it's like
Oh,
all the chemicals that people even put on their grass these days leaks into there, leaks into that, and it's just a cycle of trying to to clean.
oh my goodness. It is. It really is. And again, this is not to shame or guilt or bring fear in any way, shape, or form. It is to educate. The more that you know, the more that you're aware of, like the more you can change for yourself, for your family.
Facts. 100%.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with that more. And I'm grateful that, we are deep diving into the topics, because these are the topics that Jill and I feel passionate about learning about and sharing. If
Mm-hmm.
we can do one thing, that is to show up, research, and educate each other. Educate each other. How about teach each other? Or educate each other, I guess works too. But that's how we all stay in the know and we help each other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what our world is all about, is connecting and learning and growing with each other and doing better, because once you know better, you usually do better.
Absolutely. And I do want to take a moment, just a moment. I know we try to keep these as short as possible, but this actually came to be a passion of mine because I lost my father due to dementia. And my sister and I were very unaware of plastics and dementia. And we were made aware of that, excuse me, probably about 4 months before my dad passed. And we had an amazing, surprisingly Western medicine doctor who was linking my dad's genetic expression, not his genes, but the expression of his genes for dementia. And what we had learned, what he had taught us, this was the beginning of my journey for the plastic link. But he had sat down and showed us that due to my father's specific gene expression, he had the genetics for Alzheimer's and dementia anyway. But what we don't realize is that these chemicals and toxins actually turn it on. Just because you have that expression or have the genetics doesn't mean you'll ever get it. Just like that, what is it, the BRCA gene for breast cancer? People are literally cutting off their breasts to avoid getting breast cancer when they're not even realizing just because you have the gene doesn't mean you're going to get the cancer. So do you do that with with your heart or your brain? Do we cut our brain out because we might get dementia? No, no, we don't do that. Anyway, this was the start of my journey, which is why it is so passionate. What my sister and I had found was that these plastics get stored in our tissues and our fat cells. They don't ever leave the body until you specifically detox them. So they just keep accumulating, and they do cross the blood-brain barrier. That's a pretty sensitive part of the brain there. And which leads to disclaimer, lead to Alzheimer's and dementia. So when they say your message is in your mess, this has been, I've always loved water. I've always known that there is some really horrific things in there. But when this was brought to my attention, it really got me hyper focused on toxins and the poisons around us and how we get them. Because if we know how we get them, we can do something about that. So thank you for listening.
Yeah. I love hearing that story. And it makes you really have a different perspective on everything too.
Mm-hmm.
If that wouldn't have happened, would we really would have went this route?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel everything happens. I know everyone says this, but everything happens for us in some way, shape, or form, but it's up to us on how we actually view what is
Mm-hmm.
happening and how we can actually take that and use it as the fire for us to do the darn thing that we know we're capable of.
Do the darn thing. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Yeah. Watching my
So
words here. Watching my words.
this definitely like led me through my whole house of thinking, do I have forever chemicals in my house that I didn't know that I can do something about? And it led me to a big one is, I mean, we all know about BPA. We're all looking for BPA free plastic But what we don't know is even the BPA free plastic has chemicals in it that are not good.
Right.
We also have Teflon, the nonstick coating on the pans. People don't realize that's probably where we can make the most impact is just getting rid of those, period. Just
So what would one use in that case, Jill?
you can use, well, and you want to look at even a ceramic pan, stainless steel pan. Some of them have stainless steel and aluminum. I mean, if you don't know exactly, the layering of the metal, don't buy it. Just don't buy it. There are some that are very expensive and some that are not. But they're out there. They're totally out there. I just got a completely non-toxic oven because my new wave oven was toxic. I had a pressure cooker, toxic. It was cooking in a Teflon nonstick, I don't know, bowl or whatever. And it's
Be all
like,
the things.
I did not know. Anyway.
It's like, stop.
And I mean, it's not, you don't have to change your life overnight, but just knowing where that comes from, just like people that we know that were affected by mercury contamination had no idea till the child was born.
Mm-hmm.
He had a completely deformed hand. Like you don't know until like sometimes your symptom is the last symptom we get. And so if we know, if we can relate it to something, it's pretty amazing. Anyway.
Yeah. And again, it's not changing everything all at once because as I personally know, that doesn't work. One little thing at a time. And then that'll be your fuel for the next thing, for the next thing, for the next thing, for the next thing. And before you know it, like 4 or 5 years later, it's like, that's a big impact you've made.
Right.
Just one little thing at a time. I mean, I can personally talk to that because that's how I had to start because I always started changing everything all at once and then I epically failed because it was too much.
It is one step at a time. And, I always say, work with what you can change right now. That's all you can do. It's the intent behind it. I totally believe that.
Yep. One little thing. One little thing equals big, big change, big impact. Before we move on, I just want to circle really back to air. I don't want to leave you hanging. My brain is not going to let me leave you hanging. I'm so sorry. But air, it's what we breathe every day. Dust, outdoor air is full of things that we are unaware of. And we inhale these particles every single day. So just kind of be aware of your surroundings and what you're really breathing in. And then we can go on. I'm so sorry. I had to take care of 3.
No, air is huge, absolutely huge. So this will actually, I do want to read this real quick. A 2023 study found microplastics in 77% of human blood samples tested. Another found them in the placentas of unborn babies. These are real studies. We didn't make this up. Our babies are being born with plastics. And
they're not even born yet.
Right.
So planting, how are we changing this? And we'll get into that as well.
Absolutely. So what does the science say? What's the health impact? Let's talk about what it means for our health. Science is ever evolving. And quite honestly, I mean, there's some new toxins out there on the market, like that we never even had a month ago. Like they are finding new toxins quite often.
Every single last day. And the more research being done, though, that gives us more to grab onto, right? But, things that do, I guess, come from plastic or the plastic problem, plastic does disrupt our hormones. And a lot of people actually don't know that. I did not know that for a decent amount of time. I mean, I think I just learned that not too long ago. honestly, maybe a year or so ago. But because of the chemicals, like they mimic or they block the hormones, disrupting our endocrine system. And that obviously can affect what? Your fertility, your metabolism, growth, your behavior at some point, if it gets that bad, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It
And
also
then we've,
is a
go
cancer
ahead.
risk.
Yep.
Plastic additives are known
We've
carcinogens.
got plastics that,
I mean, they're all different levels of plastic. Isn't just Tupperware. It's not PVC or it's there is such a dynamic range. There's plastics that are flexible. I mean, they're all made with different recipes of chemicals. And these are what we're referring to, not just, plastic food storage and plastic bags or plastic wrap or anything like that. But these are known as carcinogens. And in 2024, there's a study that linked higher rates of breast cancer to increased exposure to plastic related chemicals in the indoor air. And I thought I had read that we were talking about dust and not dusting often enough. That was me and you, right? And
yep,
that dust actually is now consisting of microplastics, like dust. So now it's in the air settling on our things, which is going into our vacuum cleaner.
that or we dust and then we breathe it in and it goes into our bodies and lungs.
True. My goodness.
And then our poor pets.
Don't get me started. Yes. Who haven't to
Which,
say of anything that we do. Who lay on the carpet and catch all the dust and lick the floors and oh my goodness, like imagine,
uh,
just imagine. Whew,
poor
did I
little
have to go
things.
there?
Poor little things.
Yes,
Which leads
yes.
us into, I guess, immune system problems, right? If we're breathing everything in. Because again, microplastics can trigger inflammation. It can disrupt your immune system, obviously. And there's even studies, I won't say what kind of studies, but there's being studies that are being done that show microplastics can accumulate in organs and disrupt other animals. I didn't want to say that. Ugh, I was trying not to use that word. Disrupt normal immune responses in animals.
Mm-hmm. And when you're actually, we'll use animals and people, when you're at the doctor trying to figure out a symptom that you have, just know just know how generic symptoms really are. And when your doctor is, quote, looking to follow the symptom, to diagnose a symptom, usually autoimmune means we don't know. And itis is always inflammation. And if you ever hear, I've heard this so many times from the vet, a disorder or a diagnosis that starts with idio, this made me laugh. I had quite a few vets, and I've been working with the University of Columbia in Mizzou, in Missouri, with their animal clinic. And they will tell you off the bat, when we say idio, it's literally, we have no clue. Idiot, idio. And it's just how they categorize it because they don't know. And I thought it was quite interesting that, they actually, not that they admitted it, but I mean, they disclosed it. We have no idea, but we're just going to treat the symptom, which is what it's all about. Anywho, I thought that was quite funny. I mean, not funny. It's like,
Well, it kind of is in
yeah.
a humorous way.
Mhm. Which for me, I mean, some of the most simplest ways of affecting all of these what if, these symptoms, if you have symptoms. Oh, I have I have a label, I have diabetes, or I have Parkinson's, or I have dementia. And just knowing that there are a few ways that you can affect, I say affect in a good way, like on a large scale without having to take more medication or anything like that. Like there are things that you can do to impact your health, lifestyle changes that would make a huge difference moving forward.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Lifestyle changes. Love that. So a few other ones would be developmental and reproductive harm, which we kind of went over. Children are also very vulnerable because their bodies and brains are still developing. Like we stated, like they're already born with plastic inside of them. It impacts your organs. So they've been found in liver, kidneys, lungs, spleen, and the placenta now. And we don't, obviously foreign particles in our body and our organs is never a good thing because our body is going to do what it needs to do to kick everything out that is not foreign.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yes. Yes. I just confused myself. Hold on. That are not supposed to be there is what I'm trying to say. I switched words up. So yeah.
Mm.
There was the first study done, I believe, in 2024 that detected microplastics in the human heart tissue. That was just done last year. So they are finding all the things inside of our body, and we can only imagine what they're doing to the impact inside of us.
Oh my goodness. So if we had plastics come out in the 1950s for convenience, like we're at 2025.
Oof.
So it kind of just makes you wonder going back, like how much of this affected the whole medical industry. What?
Yes, and we don't even want to start about that because I'll
So,
go on a whole other side tangent.
right. So really, why does it matter? Why does it matter that we talk about this right now? Pretty much because it's not just an environmental matter, like this is a people matter. We are losing people to plastics, to nanoplastics, to microplastics, like the whole plastic industry. It's in our food, in our body. Like, there's so many issues out there with changing the human species. Plastic seems to be one of them. It affects everything, even our future generations. If we're finding this in our children and our babies, and
you don't want to do it for you, like at least do it for the future generations that are to come. Like
right.
they've taken care of our world for us. Like let's pass it on like that. Like Mother Earth is allowing us to live here. Like let's take care of her so someone and everyone can live here as long as humanly possible.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can be part of the problem or we can be part of the solution. And even though you think I'm just one person, what can I do? If we're all saying that, imagine what we can do. If you just clean up your own side of the street, take care of yourself.
But we have to understand what the problem is. Like,
right.
So once we understand the problem, then we can be the solution for it. And I can promise you, you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we think we're the only one that wants to clean up the planet, that's not necessarily true. I know there's other people that would gladly join us in this movement about, hey, let's really shine the light on these areas that we were kind of lied to about.
Kind of.
Okay, we were.
It was hidden in that envelope, tucked away for many, 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 many years.
Everything is coming out now. Like,
yes.
It's great. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure in your head, you're like, what the heck can I do about this? What
Mm-hmm.
can I do? Well, again, like Jill said, we're shifting from problems to solutions here.
Mm-hmm.
And the one,
Absolutely.
Jill, you can do the first one because I know how excited you are about everything.
Filter your water. Filter your water. And go with your latest technology. The old technology does not filter out all of these new on steroids toxins that are out there. They filter out old toxins. They filter out minerals that we need in our body. If you want to drink dead water, you're going to feel pretty dead. You want living filtered water. We have quite a few solutions for that. Um, you want to change your filters as recommended. Know what you're purchasing. This is the big thing. I have come across so many people. I have a filter. I have a filter. It doesn't even remove anything. It makes your water taste better. And it's putting mold in your water. Like, become educated on the water because your water and then you're bathing in it. Did you know you absorb toxins and chlorine in the shower?
And And if you want to see a demonstration on that, you just type in the comments, I want to see the demo, and we will send you the link to that. And you can also try that yourself, not
Oh,
just watch us do it for you, but you can actually get the stuff and literally do the demonstration with the video that we did. It
mhm.
is pretty powerful because that'll show you exactly what Jill just said.
And if you're like me, prove it. Prove it. I'm not just going to take your word for it. I mean, mm-mm.
Mm.
Anybody can say anything. It's like, prove it to me. Give me the pudding. Give me the pudding. But make sure your filters are certified. They have independent certifications. This is so important. Ask to see what these filters certified, or I'm sorry, what they actually remove. Get a list of what they remove. Ask for the certifications because 9 times out of 10, companies will not send them to you. They will not show them to you.
And I'm just going to chime in. If you need any help or guidance, like Jill and I are here,
Mm-hmm.
we will tell you exactly what we know and kind of point you in certain directions. If you wanted to do some research, we are here to support you, not persuade
Absolutely.
you, not this, not that. We are here to educate, and
Mm-hmm.
we are educating obviously from the place where we are leading from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can take number two.
Okay, so rethink your food storage. What do you store your leftovers in? How do you package your lunch or dinner or breakfast? How do
Mm.
you take things with you?
Food prep
Um,
is huge.
yeah. And what do you put your sandwich in? What do you put your potato chips in? I know me growing up, and I love my parents to pieces, but it was always plastic baggies,
Mhm.
um, and plastic containers, and plastic lunch boxes, and plastic thermals, which we heated with soup in them. Um, but it's we've come a long way now.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the things are actually switching over to glass. I've actually been aware of. Um, so switch from your your plastic containers to glass. Um, I would like to stay stainless steel too, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I know it's better than plastic, but I don't really know the effects of stainless steel just yet.
Mhm.
Um,
I
and
feel
don't
the same way,
I
surprisingly.
was thinking about that the other
Mm.
day, but I didn't want to rabbit hole that or I would have been taken off topic.
Yeah.
So, so write that down. We're going to research that.
Mm.
Um, and I know with how convenient things have made our lives, like microwaves,
Mm.
but really try not to use that, especially plastic in the microwaves, because that is leaching. When you heat plastic, that's leaching, Lord knows, something into your food. So we really want to try to avoid microwaves and plastic. However, I do know the convenience of the world.
Mm.
And store leftovers again in your glass containers, your glass jars. Um, I wanted to go a different direction there. Anyways, yeah, I'm
So
going to go way off topic.
that is okay. So number three, choose fresh over packaged items. Buy fresh produce, bulk foods, reduce your risk to the packaging portion. Bring your own produce bags. I always bring my own bags with me. Sometimes if when I first started doing it, I felt stupid. I'm not gonna lie, but now people are like, oh, I should do that. Oh, I should do that. How many plastic bags do you have when you get home, especially double bag, triple bag?
A ton of them.
Probably most people throw them away. I don't. I mean, I don't use them anymore, but I would take them back up to the store. Anyway. But bring your own and avoid individually wrapped snacks and convenience foods when possible. There's so many new packaging that is plastic free, that is washable, reusable, and all of that. And these companies are out there, they're readily available. Um, we can change it. We can definitely change it.
100%, which means that the next step is just going to be like educate yourself and really know what you stand for in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. Like, what do you support? I don't want to tell you what to support, but what do you support? Who are
Mm-hmm.
you as an individual? Like, advocate for yourself. Like, you know what? I'm going to stand up for, I'm only going to buy things that are in glass. I'm only going to back companies that are in glass.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to not go to these restaurants that serve things in plastic. Like, that's where our stand comes in. Like, take the stand. What does that look like for you? Get involved in cleanups. I know there's, I think, two or three here, like big ones a year. Like, go help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get involved with community things and really allow you to connect with the people that are passionate about doing what you want to do. And then you can share again, learn the things and share with your friends, family, share on social media, share what you know so we can all do better and lock arms and walk together.
Mm-hmm. Because all it takes, honestly, is to just stand up. It's probably the hardest thing to do is to not frequent a store anymore that you love or not have the convenience. You've got to go out of your way to or pay a little bit more for a better product. That's really the hardest part. But that's where the companies are going to feel it. They're not going to change if we keep buying this stuff.
Going back to, okay, I wasn't going to bring this up, but you said it's a little tough at the beginning. And so I got rid of my microwave 2 years ago now. It was the hardest darn thing because it's like I didn't realize how much, as bad as this is, I was actually reheating things. And then I moved and realized that there was no microwave here. And I'm like, oh, blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
But we adapted, we maneuvered, we learned how to do better because we knew like microwaving is no bueno.
Mm-hmm.
It took a little adjusting, but it's like, holy cow. Like once you get through the week or two, it becomes easier and easier just with anything, with
Mm-hmm.
anything.
I so agree.
Yeah.
And it's the
But you also learn
uncomfortableness.
different things you would never be pushed to learn because you don't have that. Or it's
Mm-hmm.
taking you back to your roots, which is something I enjoy. 200 years ago, they didn't have no microwaves.
Right.
What did they do? And you wonder why, like they looked better, they lived longer, they dot, dot, dot.
Mm-hmm. Dot,
Because
dot,
they
dot. I
really
love that.
took care of their vessel. They really honored what went in and how it was prepared. They blessed their food. They said grace, like all
Mm-hmm.
of the things
Mm-hmm.
that we have slowly been stripped of.
Absolutely. Well, and we like convenience. We
Well,
like
I was
cheap
so excited. I
convenience.
remember like when all the things came out and things were so easy and fast food started, and it's like, holy cow, this is great. Everything is right there for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then 20 years later, I'm like, grr, that so wasn't the freaking truth and this and that. And that's not what they wanted. Like they just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
make us unhealthy. And what are we eating? And our DNA is changing and our chemistry in the body. Like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, that wasn't for us.
Wasn't well. For some, it was meant for, but however,
Right.
but you know what? Like this can actually be fun, especially for a family who's looking to change habits and do better. Like just stay curious. Um, you don't have to focus your whole life on it, but there's a couple of websites that I'm aware of personally, ewg.org, not just the tap water base, but it'll give you other links to different products, you know, clothing and cookware and all that. There's another good one too called Mamavation. It's really good on cooking and Teflon and ridding yourself. Amazing. So if you're looking for, you know, if you're on Amazon looking to swap out your tox-free cookware, go to those websites and just check out what they have to say, because I'm telling you, there is an affordable price range for everything. It doesn't have to be quote too expensive. And mind you, these are going to last forever. They're going to last forever. With Teflon,
I,
once you start putting, you know, flipping your stuff in there, like, and that peels off, like it only lasts for so long, but it's going in your food.
things I didn't
So
think about.
yeah,
And I've
yeah.
never heard of Mama
Mamavation.
Vation.
Mamavation.
I'm excited to look that up.
It's a cool website, definitely. But yeah, just stay curious, informed, you know, pull your kids in on this. Like have them look at clothing and, you know, that they like. When you're wearing plastic against your body, like on your intimates, you know, on your body parts, you know,
Mhm.
that's a direct change to your hormones. But every
And
little
that's where we
change
take a
adds up.
stand too. Like that's where we take a stand. Your power is buying. That's what they
Mm-hmm.
rely on us for. So if we're not buying the product, I mean, perfect example was I don't remember how many years ago. Time is kind of wonky for me, but it was when no one was watching football. They gave it
Mm-hmm.
to us for free. At that point, we should have realized where our power is. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you're not paying for it. Here it is, because we need you to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
So once we realize our power is in buying, we have the power. If we, and we have to bond together, but if all of us chose to do that, we would make a real impact on the world and what the choices actually are out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like, where is your stand? Do you want to use companies that only do glass, metal, and like things that biodegrade, or plastic free, BPA free, even though we're going to have another topic on that? But
Absolutely.
your wallet is your power.
I love
Support
that.
the businesses, like, support the businesses that you can commit to and feel good about shopping for with.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ah, so we would
And
love
then
to.
we can, sorry, I'm going to do like track how many times a day you utilize plastic or touch it. Like keep a journal if that would
Mhm.
be fun for you. Only if it's fun. Only do things if they're fun for you. Like keep a journal and see how many times a day that you use plastic, and then challenge yourself just this week. What is one swap that you can make? You know,
Mhm.
your reusable water bottle. Is that aluminum or plastic or glass?
Mhm.
Your chapstick. What are the ingredients in that? Could you possibly melt that down and put it into a glass container?
Mm.
I know.
I know.
Like make one switch this week and see. And then if you enjoy that, make another switch and
Mhm.
make another switch and make another switch. And
And
all the
just
changes.
notice how you're feeling
Yep.
with your switch.
because every little change adds up.
It does. It
And
does.
when we all act together, we can drive big shifts in the markets, policies, and awareness.
And we can shift these companies to selling what we want to buy or going out of business. Wouldn't that
Right.
be amazing?
Like that's where our power is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we would love to hear from you on this journey. If you're looking to swap anything out, would love to hear about it. Would love to celebrate with you. Um,
Yeah,
drop
tell
it
us
in
about
the
it.
group.
Tell
Yes,
us
yes,
about
yes.
like, was it easy for you? Was it a little challenging for you?
Mm-hmm.
Was there a tug of war? Because let me tell you, some of mine were for sure. Or like, I love this. How am I going to swap this out?
Or let us know if there's a story behind it. We love stories, just like my dad and the plastic. Like, let us know.
And then was there something that surprised you in today's class? We would love to know that too.
Absolutely. I love it.
And we thank you so much for being here on this Water Riff Radio Tuesday. And remember,
Absolutely.
it's not about guilt. It's not about fear. It's not about that. It's about waking us up.
Mm-hmm.
It's about getting curious about what is really out there and what is coming in contact with us daily. It's about taking our power back and standing for what we believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that we are slowly, or I guess I feel I am slowly working towards that. Like, what is Amanda all about? This is how you build who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, share with us. What have you learned? Let's make one small change this week. Because when we know better, we do better. We are protecting not only our planet, but our water, our health, and our future together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else to say, Miss Jill?
I do not, except just have fun. If you're not having fun, change can be difficult. And we love change and we love fun. Enjoy.
Yes. And we will see you next Tuesday on Water Wish Radio.
Mm. See you then.